they like to describe us being on the fringe and a little bit kooky now and then. But isn't that rather strange? We talk about these strange things like balanced budgets, personal liberty, privacy, a sound national defense, defend this country. And we define, and they want to say that these are bizarre ideas. But it's time now for some just very good common sense. You know, they harp about the need to be around the world. And right now, the candidates out there in the major parties don't have a really difference in their foreign policy. They both want more troops in Afghanistan. They really want to maintain bases in the Middle East for a long time. They want to threaten Iran. And lo and behold, both candidates now think we should send more of your money to Georgia to protect that oil line. And that's not the state of Georgia either. You know, I told somebody once, I said, here we are messing around with Georgia. Well, before we know it, we'll be sending troops over there, and our kids will be dying over there. And since they got out of public school, they probably don't even know where the country of Georgia is. And somebody said, they probably don't even know where the state of Georgia is. But it is positively amazing how the war drums can beat and how the propaganda machine can work and how this country is, you know, can be built up to practically want to go to war against Iran. You know, Iran spends 1% as much money on their national defense as we spend. They have no missiles, no airplane, no tanks, and no nuclear weapons. The UN inspectors say they don't have it, and we're supposed to be intimidated and scared, and we put anti-ballistic missiles on the border of Russia because the Iranians might shoot missiles at us that they don't even have. The Iranians, if you want to put it in perspective, they don't even refine their own gasoline, and we're supposed to be frightened and intimidated by them. We got to get the truth out. That is what we need. The wonderful thing about restoring the Republic and restoring our interest in liberty is that is the key to releasing creative energy. Creative energy only comes from individuals. It is not collective. You can't have collective farms. It doesn't work. But energy and creativity comes from the individual. And we saw that today by the creative artists. They're individuals that can be artists because they're creative. But we all are individuals. We have to be creative. We have to have the motivation. And the strongest motivation in the world is to take care of ourselves. We shouldn't be embarrassed by that. We're allowed to. We're responsible to take care of ourselves. We should be embarrassed by asking somebody else to take care of us. The wonderful part about a free society, you eliminate entirely victims. There are no victims. You may be a victim of bad judgment, but you're not a victim of the government taking money from you and giving it to somebody else and wasting it. You know, I have a bumper sticker in my office on on my desk there that is rather popular. It says, "Don't steal. The government hates the competition." Some people worry that our numbers aren't great enough, that we don't have 51% of the population behind us. But ideas only need to be led by 5 to 10% of the people. They can bring about a revolution. And today, But today I heard a statistic that shows that our numbers are much greater than that, even in the base of the Republican Party. Just think how strong they are throughout the whole country. But the one thing that I would wish those individuals who are not here tonight, because I know you understand it, and that is the counterfeit offers from others who say that we will take care of you, we will bring about change, and we are the peace candidate, and we will rally the young people. Those are counterfeit, because when you look at the description of what they're talking about, it's just more of the same. And I think you can sense that. You know the difference. What we have when we have a free society, we reject the idea of people being leeches and looters and plunderers. We don't need them. We need self-reliance, self-respect, and taking care of ourselves. That is what makes the nation move. I have been asked these last several days quite frequently, what am I doing this for? What's the purpose of all this? And in many ways, it is to send a message. There is no doubt about it. And I have advocated that the message is very, very important. And I've also encouraged it to be non-confrontational and to think that we'll be disruptive and doing things that doesn't really achieve anything, and they paint us in a bad light. But there is no doubt, philosophically, that the message has to be sent. Now, yes, many of us are working in the Republican Party. I've worked in the Republican Party. But this is much bigger than the Republican Party. Yes. So I encourage people, if they want to work in the Republican Party, and the Campaign for Liberty certainly will be, to have an influence. But we need to send the message. It's the philosophic message. But in a true revolution, believe me, the revolution doesn't occur with a single political party. A true revolution, then, those views will be reflected in the Republican Party, in the Democrat Party, in the Independent Party, and everybody in the country will be affected. One subject that comes up not too infrequently, more these days than ever before, and that is, and it was hinted at today with some of the speakers, you know, when do we get so dissatisfied with our current operation of trying to bring about change? And some are already very dissatisfied. Some even that believe the way we do are frustrated with the slowness of what we do, and they want to do things in a much more aggressive manner. But I think there is a time and a place for that. But there is a time and place, I think, for peaceful civil disobedience. The changes brought about by Gandhi and Martin Luther King were peaceful, and they knew and understood the consequences. And we do know that people in our movement have already suffered the consequences, because they may be 100% correct on the tax code and the monetary issue, and they end up behind bars. So that is the consequence. And there may be a time coming that, say, this foreign policy gets out of hand, which I worry about all the time, because both parties endorse more militarism. And if you know, one thing that we have found out about the incident in Georgia, even if we wanted to or had needed to, we didn't have the troops to do anything about it. We have weakened our national defense. You know what that means? Those who want to pursue the empire will reinstitute the draft. We should not ever have a draft. But there would be some tough decisions. There would be a lot of tough decisions to make about when to practice this. And if there is a draft, those will be very, very hard decisions, but they have had to be made before, and they could again. I have always resorted to saying, I don't like it, and I want to resist it, but I want to change, and as long as the system is available to me to run for office and to rally the troops, this is the way I will be working. How did you like Amy Allen today?